Tomorrow morning, every tank on Earth disappears. Not destroyed, not damaged. Gone, vanished overnight from every base, every desert convoy, every hidden bunker in the world. Like the tank had never been invented in the first place. No warning, no time to plan. And somewhere on a battlefield that hasn't gone quiet yet, a soldier is about to find out exactly what's standing between him and the enemy without one. Nothing. You'd think it wouldn't matter that much anymore. We live in a world where a drone can hit a moving truck from 2 miles up, where a missile can level a building before the dust from the last one even settles, where a satellite can read a license plate from orbit. So why would anyone care about a 60-ton steel box that moves slower than a bicycle and burns through fuel like it's going out of style? Because that steel box is the only thing that has ever let a human being walk toward gunfire and live to tell about it. Picture the soldier for a second. Not a statistic. A 22-year-old kid whose boots are laced too tight because his hands won't stop shaking. Without a tank rolling in front of him, there's nothing but open ground between his body and a machine gun nest 300 meters out. No wall of steel to hide behind while he moves. No armor to eat the round that's got his name on it. Just him, flesh, bone, and a rifle walking straight into the one piece of ground built to kill him fastest. That's not a hypothetical. That's exactly what war looked like before the tank existed. And it's exactly what it would look like again, starting tomorrow, if every tank on the planet disappeared overnight. Rewind to 1916. Men climbed out of trenches into open fields and got cut down in rows, thousands of them, in a single morning, because there was nothing standing between a human body and a machine gun except the distance he had to run to reach it. Armies tried everything to fix it. More artillery. More men. More attacks. The killing just got worse every time. Then somebody built a machine that could walk straight through machine gun fire and keep moving. It didn't just win a battle. It ended an entire era where the only strategy left on Earth was throwing more bodies at the problem until one side ran out of them first. Now erase that machine from the modern world. Every advantage it's handed soldiers for over 100 years. Gone in a single night. Here's the part most people get wrong when they think about this. Tanks were never really about firepower. Plenty of things can kill from a distance. What a tank does that nothing else fully replaces is let a human being survive at close range, under direct fire, while still moving forward. Take that away and infantry doesn't advance anymore. It gets pinned down in the open and shredded. A drone can scout a position. A missile can strike it from miles out. Artillery can soften it up before anyone gets close. But none of them can sit in the middle of an active firefight, shrug off small arms fire, and physically shield the people walking beside it. Only one machine on Earth has ever done that job, and tomorrow, it's gone. Think about what that does to an actual battlefield. Every advance turns into the trench warfare of a century ago. Soldiers crossing open ground, bleeding for every 100 meters they gain. Every defended position becomes nearly unbreakable, because there's nothing left that can punch through a fortified line and survive what's waiting on the other side. Wars that used to be decided in weeks stretch into years the same way the First World War did, because nobody can actually break through anymore. They can only grind each other down until one side collapses. Now bring it home. If tanks disappeared tomorrow, it isn't some other country's problem. It's the deterrence that's kept a dozen borders quiet for decades, gone overnight. It's the reason an adversary who spent years testing how far they can push suddenly has an answer to the one question that's kept them from finding out. What happens if they push further? Every treaty, every alliance, every don't even think about it that's held for the last 70 years was backed by armored divisions sitting somewhere, ready to move. Pull that out from under it, and a lot of very careful people start recalculating very quickly. Look at what happened the one time in modern history a war actually turned into a full armored fight. In 1991, tank columns didn't just support the ground invasion of Iraq, they were the invasion. Armored spearheads broke through fortified defensive lines that military planners expected to take weeks to crack. In under 4 days. A war a lot of experts predicted would be a brutal, drawn-out slaughter was functionally decided before most people back home had finished watching the news coverage of it starting. Now pull the tanks out of that same scenario. You're not looking at a 4-day war anymore. You're looking at minefields, trench lines, and a body count nobody wants to say out loud. There's another side to this that almost nobody talks about, and it might be the scariest part. Tanks don't just protect the soldiers standing behind them, they change how the enemy behaves. A defender who sees armor rolling toward his position knows exactly what's coming, and that fear alone makes some of them break and run before a shot is even fired. Take the tanks away and that fear flips sides. Now it's the attacker walking into the open who has every reason to be afraid, and the defender who suddenly has the confidence to hold his ground and make every single one of those soldiers pay for every meter they take. War isn't just steel and range and firepower. Half of it is which side is more afraid of the other, and for over 100 years, the tank has been the machine that tilted that fear in one direction. Take it away and you don't just lose a weapon. You lose the thing that's kept the enemy hesitant in the first place. This isn't ancient history repeating itself in some outdated form, either. Even right now, in a war being fought with more drones than any conflict in human history, tanks haven't gone away, adapted right alongside everything else. Soldiers on the ground in that war will tell you the same thing on both sides. Nobody wants to walk into a defended tree line without armor going in first. A drone can find the enemy, can even hit him. What it can't do is sit on a piece of ground and let a squad of human beings actually walk in behind it and hold what they just took. It's still a human problem on the ground, and right now, it still only has one real answer. So picture it one more time, not tomorrow this time, but a year from now, after an entire war fought without a single tank on either side. Cities that would have fallen in weeks hold out for years, because nobody left can break a defended street without walking straight into it in the open. Casualty counts climb back toward numbers the modern world hasn't seen since the World Wars, because the only way left to take ground is to send people to take it with nothing but their own bodies between them and the guns waiting for them. Militaries that spent decades and trillions of dollars building fast, high-tech forces suddenly find themselves refighting the exact same battles their great-grandfathers fought in 1944, except this time without the one machine that made those battles survivable at all. Think about what that does to the people actually living through it, not just the maps and the strategy. A soldier who's used to fighting alongside armor has spent his entire career trained to move, trust that steel with his life. Strip that away overnight and you're not just changing his tactics, changing what he feels every single time he's given an order to advance. That hesitation costs seconds. In a firefight, seconds are the difference between making it home and not. Multiply that fear across an entire army, and you don't just get a slower war. You get an army that's scared to fight the way it used to, against an enemy who suddenly isn't scared at all. That's the real answer to the question in the title of this video. It's not that war without tanks looks a little different. It's that war without tanks looks like war before humanity ever figured out how to make it survivable in the first place. Mass casualties, stalled front lines, and fights measured in months instead of days. Every piece of modern military technology on Earth, every drone, every missile, every satellite, built assuming that one machine would still be sitting on the ground when the shooting actually started. Take it away, and none of the rest of it can do the one job that actually decides who wins a war, putting a human being in a position to walk forward, survive what's coming at him, and take the ground in front of him. And that's exactly why, with every piece of futuristic technology replacing it on paper, every serious military on Earth is still building more of them right now, today, while you're watching this video. If that surprised you even a little, stay with me because the next part is where this gets uncomfortable. What actually happens to a country that lets its armored force fall apart right before it needs it the most? How much closer that's already come to happening than most people realize.